I had a natural tendency towards speaking on camera. I used to come in advertisements when I was younger. So, but Sheikh Saab just shook his head and said, no, not newscasting. You're not going in that direction. You're going towards anger. And Alhamdulillah was at that point, a very profound choice for me. I was, in my background in sustainability and environmentalism, and I was part of the Socialist Party in the Netherlands. The thought of joining a corporation filled me with horror, but I have to say with the rest, alhamdulillah, profound career choices. Takes up, and again, we're talking about living in the modern world and being able to connect it with Ramzan, making most effective use of Ramzan. Your Sheikh gives very practical advice also. He tells you how to live this worldly life also, a critical worldly life. And through this worldly life, your world is also the vehicle through which you progress in your deen, you progress in your religion also. So through my career, he taught me how to balance. When I joined my career, I had a tendency at that time to just go all out, right? So I was all about work. And he taught me how to balance my personal, professional, private affairs. For instance, I would not take any holidays. I used to pride myself on the fact that for 2 or 3 years, 1 or 2 years, I did not take any holidays whatsoever. And Sheikh Saab said, what's wrong with you? You need to go your family out, enjoy your time. And Alhamdulillah, I learned so much from that. Started taking time off, taking my family, traveling, going on vacations, and the profound impact it had on relationship with my family, my wife, my kids, how beneficial seemingly insignificant thing as a holiday has on one's deen, on one's children's learning and upbringing. So again, Sheikh Saab teaching me how to balance these things. Honestly, if I I go to Sheikh Saab for everything. I go to him for all my decisions, all my major decisions. I always take Sheikh Saab's input in. If I could, I would even ask Sheikh Saab what color socks to wear, but Sheikh Saab has forbidden me, so I can't ask him. But honestly, I would ask him for that also if I could. So because to get the guidance and barakat of and Allah is basically the most powerful mentor that you have out there if you look at from a perspective. I've shared many happy moments with my sheikh, my nikah, my first job. I mentioned the birth of my kids. Interestingly also, without any prompting, I left many of my bad habits. Probably the most severe one being smoking. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes, like the hard cigarettes without even filter, like that. That would be my level of smoking cigarettes. Missing prayers, staying clean shaved. And the funny thing is that Sheikh Saab never told me that you quit the stuff. It just happened. I could never even imagine that I'm going to quit smoking. If you talk to a smoker, they'll tell you how tough it is to quit smoking. And one day, it was on my wedding day actually, I just lit my cigarette and I stopped smoking. Alhamdulillah, from that time onwards, I have not smoked a commercial cigarette. May Allah keep it that way. And I'm sure it will be my Sheikh's Jumaat. I've also faced the wrath of my Sheikh. Actually, Sheikh Saab has always been gentle with me, but this is one time he was angry at me. And again, it had the most profound influence on me. This was when I started vaping in place of smoking a cigarette. So I started vaping and I just couldn't let go of it. And I was terrified how am I going to tell my Sheikh, but I just told Sheikh Saab. First week, he's like, beta, leave it, it'll stop your spiritual progress. Second week, he's like, beta, leave it, it'll stop your spiritual progress. Third week, or maybe it's fourth week, so Sheikh Saab I'm still on it. And Sheikh Saab I still remember that moment. He just looked at me, he's like, you know what, don't come next time. Do the khamka. We make a lot of effort. And if it's not worth your time, then don't come. And I left the khamka, my vaping, and alhamdulillah, since that point onwards, I did not even think, if I thought of vaping it, I would just think of Sheikh Saab and alhamdulillah, everything would come set. So, but my point being that even the anger of one's shaykh, um, may Allah allow us to benefit from it. In fact, I think that the anger that Sheikh exhibits towards his Salik, the Sheikh has no malice towards his Salik. He wants genuine good for him. Um, in fact, its taught was also that a Sheikh's wrath, his anger, um, helps in the spiritual progress far greater than a softness also. But still, may Allah save you to my Sheikh's anger, the terrifying sight to behold and to go through. Um, and I'm eternally thankful for it. So I could go on extolling the virtues of my sheikh, but let me just end by saying that I could really just go on about Sheikh Saab. As I mentioned, the most Kamil sheikh after Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Radiyallahu anhu sheikh. My sheikh is the most complete sheikh, the most Kamil sheikh, and everything good I have in my life today is because of him. So let me just end before opening up to your questions. Is that if you don't have a sheikh already, find a true sheikh, such a sheikh that Hazrat Imam Ghazali Rahmatullah states that it must exhibit these characteristics. Probably the most profound one being that he follows the Sharia, he is not involved in Gunai Kabira, he does follow Tawbah from it. And this list of, I believe, 12 or 14 um, traits that a sheikh must exhibit. Because look, another thing sometimes I also notice is from some people who are contemplating this path to find the Junaid Baghdadi of today. But let me tell you, these sheikhs are the Junaid Baghdadis of today. And wallah, like, these people are people who will change your life. Okay, so stop overthinking it, find a true sheikh. Do spend time in finding a sheikh. You must have nisbat with that sheikh also. You must have a connection with that sheikh also. So ensure that. And then when you take bayat with the sheikh, then my suggestion and what's strongly recommended is that you ensure total obedience and commitment. Over obedience, over commitment, if you will, because the greater it is, the faster it is that you'll progress. So just remember 10%, and it's taught also that 10% is your effort and you have to do it, it's foundational. But 90% is your sheikh's job. So you just have to get over there, ensure what he's saying, that you follow it, updating the sheikh regularly, following his advice regularly, and just following the sheikh's instructions. Because remember that the Sheikh Saleh is closer to him than his blood family. So firm is the bond. And inshallah, you will attain treasures that you cannot even imagine. Treasures such as, which is the job of the Sheikh, to teach you the etiquettes and the love of the etiquettes of entering Darbar Risalat and the love for Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and to then get you to the love of Allah, the love of Allah, to get to Allah, which is the ultimate purpose of life. So, Jazakallah for listening on that. If there are any questions that somebody has, either they can raise their hands. I just want to raise their hands, but there are some questions. Don't you, so Ali is asking, don't you feel your own freedom is compromised due to his shape? Yes, it is. So when I think just after I become bad with Sheikh Saab, Sheikh Ramayuni, I remember reading this the booklet that is offered to the Saleh newly, and in that was what I'm telling you right now, that total obedience, total submission, if you will, to your Sheikh. What he says, you do it point blank. Over obedience. And I mentioned I was in a political party in the Netherlands, and I used to follow the anarchist school of thought, and I was really influenced by that. And for me, it was all about the human is the ultimate decider of their direction. And it's all about freedom of speech, freedom of action, freedom of will. I used to really believe in that stuff. And reading that, I was like, how can I shackle myself to a person? It was a complete antithesis of what I was at that point. Um, but I gave into it. And alhamdulillah, I can speak for myself that the benefits of this compromised freedom is far more liberating than the freedom of not being with a sheikh or taking the most obvious example, whatever Western freedoms are. I believe to be far more free and liberated because this world is a prison, I would say. I think the more you're in it, the more you're shackled. So yes, your freedom is compromised, but in a very superficial sort of way. And ultimately, I think it's the most liberating thing to be shackled to a shape as he guides you to your ultimate purpose. Hope that answers the question, Lee. Welcome. Can everyone guys ask, please, brothers and sisters, ask the questions or raise your hands. And let me just make sure I'm seeing correct also. Hamza, if you can tell me if anyone's raised their hands and if in case I'm missing it, I don't think anyone's there. Oh, the questions. Then Mohammed Akbar, Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuhu. If a sheikh becomes angry on the Salik, is it a misfortune for the Salik as Salik made him angry? Again, I'm telling you, it's a blessing. All right, it's a blessing if the Salik takes advantage of that, being facing the brunt of that anger. If they enact what the learning from that anger was. In my case, I told you about vaping. I stopped vaping after that. And I couldn't believe I would leave it, but so it was my fortune. How was it my misfortune? Right? So I would say look at it that way. If you're saying in this in the term of and also the sheikh is not angry at you from the perspective like you've done anything to him. It's not his nafs talking, he's just genuinely concerned for you. And that is his way of reprimanding you and putting you on the path aright. Allah can also get angry with the person, but Allah forgives also. Right? So I would say let's not be worried about the anger itself. Be more worried about whether we implement whatever the solution to that anger is. So it's not a misfortune. I think it's the most fortunate thing to be to face the wrath or the anger of the sheikh, and then the biggest blessing if you work upon it. Though again, it's a terrifying feeling. So do what Sheikh Saab is telling you to do, and you won't have to face anger. Then iPhone TJ. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allah blessed me with Bai'at with Hazrat in 2019. Allah, Alhamdulillah. There is no doubt he changed my life. Everything good happened to me. Is it because of it? Everything good happened to me just because of him. I wish women could have sohbat of him, but due to the limitations of Sharia, it is not right. My question is, does it slow our progress and path of love and marifat? Sister, women are discouraged from going to the mosque. Does that slow your progress towards Allah? No, right? In fact, it's in a way an advantage that's been given to women that they may stay at home and do their farais to get close to Allah. So similarly, remember this also, this is the sunnah, right? Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has put in place strictures for men's dealing with women and women's dealing with men. So you're following the sunnah. That's the first blessing. Secondly, so many people could be in the sohbat of Sheikh Saab directly in person and not take benefit from it. What are those people, right? So look, Soviet definitely has an impact, but for women, I want to give assurance that following Sheikh Saab's advice, following the sunnah, their progress will be just as fast as the Salik, the male Salik who takes a sohbat of the Sheikh. So please don't worry, it will not slow your progress. and the path on love and marifat, inshallah, it'll be just as fast as any Salih who is on the path. I know it. And no, it doesn't, because we cannot ask him as much things as we want. Sometimes there are so many questions in invert query. So here also, I'll tell you, when I go to Sheikh Saab, I have so many questions I want to tell, and I want to say, Sheikh Saab, this person did this to me, and then that to me, and then I gave a reverse punch, and then he gave me judo kick, and then I did this with him. And as soon as I go over there, everything melts away, and I just ask him 1, 2 questions, and it's good. So I would say, do not worry about it. Believe me, if I were to talk to him for like 15 minutes versus just give him concise, this is the issue I'm facing, whatever Sheikh Saab answer he gives, even a yes or a no, is sufficient. I promise you. And often I myself, I mean, I have spoken to Sheikh Saab directly. I don't have long conversations with him often, especially for Maamulat. It's very straightforward. These are my updates. These are my Maamulat. These are the issues I'm facing. This is the solution. Done. And I see that for lots of Saliks, and alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, the impact is profound. I hope that answers your question. How to balance Imran Bhai is asking how to balance asking your Sheikh down Khatun Ali everything versus not wanting to waste his time on trivial issues versus sometimes having to make decisions within a short timeline, which does not allow us the opportunity to discuss the matter. How do you filter what is trivial and what is important in terms of discussing with your Sheikh down Khatun Ali? Yeah, I don't think anything is trivial apart from the thing I mentioned, socks. Yellow socks or blue socks. You just ask yourself if this is in that category. But I'm sure that nothing you ask is trivial. If it's a quick question that you want to know about, then just put in a short, concise, I would say text note, because it's quicker to read for Sheikh, and accept whatever answers he gives. If it's an immediate decision and you will know, inshallah, if it's an important critical issue or not. And if it's something more profound, something that can wait, then I would say just state on that yourself also. Oftentimes the issue gets resolved by itself also. But by no means should you not let your sheikh know about some issue that you're facing, because don't forget, he will be that mentor, that guide to guide you through it, right? So for the immediate, in summary, for the immediate issues that you know that you're facing, that you need answer for, put in a short message for him, and Sheikh Saab will respond. He responds usually very quickly. And for the more profound issues, then just reach out to him. I would say go make a clear agenda of what it is that you want to discuss with him. And he's been through a lot of the questions from other Saliks also. He'll know how to respond to you in a timely manner, in a timely way. Khadija then is asking, Mr. Khadija, we have heard you talk about our Shaykh with great love and adab. You have taken extensive sohbat from him. Please share some of his karamat and darajat, like Sheikh Saab talks about his Shaykh and shares with anecdotes, with those of us who may never be allowed to get his sohbat one and one. I told you one of his karamat. He folded me and I stopped sleeping. So I think that's one. That's one. Yeah, karamat. I've seen often Sheikh Saab avoiding those conversations because I feel it distracts the Salik, right? The Salik has to go through the almost mundane, almost monotonous day-to-day tasks. That's more important. And to what extent the Salik is following the Shariat, and Shariat becomes a tabiyat, Shariat becomes a habit of the Salik. That's much more critical for a Sheikh to observe. And sometimes karamat and these things are a distraction for the Salik. So I would recommend that focus more on updating your Sheikh regularly and implementing whatever it is that he says. And Again, as part of that duty of the Salik also is to know that your shaykh is the most complete shaykh, most kamil shaykh, and that's sufficient. Karamat and darajat, I mean, what greater darajat than being more kamil than Hazrat Abu Bakr's shaykh, the most kamil shaykh, then after Hazrat Abu Bakr shaykh. What's a higher darajat than that? So I think that's sufficient. And karamat, if there are any, you will hear of them from some Salik, usually a new one. And I think focus more on your Muhammadats. In terms of the question, Saad bhai, how do you advise young people, uh, young Saleh, to go about the process of finding a spouse while remaining within the confines of Sharia? It seems like a very thin line you have to work in. I would love to hear your guidance on this. So I think just keep your shaykh updated on the process. He'll guide you a lot on that also. And this is a very, and look, do the niyat. I pray to Allah that please guide me right on this. I did the niyat for that, and Alhamdulillah, with my sheikh's guidance and Allah's tawfiq, I followed until that point. That was as much Sharia compliant as possible. I think it's quite clear how you should do it. And of course, it's difficult in the modern world. And that's why I think the sheikh's guidance is critical. It will help you navigate that thin line in needing to follow Sharia while also staying within the, while also navigating the strictures of the modern world. And I feel like a failure when I cannot meet my established targets on work, mamulat, personal health goals. How do you advise the Salik deals with this guilt in a constructive manner? Yeah, it's not easy. Everyone was. Everyone. You see a lot of questions coming in that line. I go through it a lot. And you take it day by day. And again, Sheikh's guidance. Start again. Start small, adjust your mamulats or your targets if they're not working, and then go from there. Consistency. Do it less, but keep it consistent. And don't compromise on your sleep. There's one thing I think that helps a lot. It's sleep and doing your mamulat at the very least. Things fall in place then for the rest. Mamulat and sleep. Imran Bhai, following up from this question, I have taken counsel on the same faults within me over and over again in the last few years. Now I feel embarrassed to discuss the same again, as I've not been able to exercise the solutions he has repeatedly advised. What should I do next? Okay, thank you for letting me know, Akbar Bhai and Ahmed Bhai. Imran Bhai, that's not your problem. Okay, the fact that you're going back again and again and again, and your sheikh is listening to you, that's his job. Okay. If you're feeling embarrassed, it's an understandable feeling. Work on it, but it's okay. Just go back to your sheikh. Alhamdulillah, you're feeling embarrassed. That's a good sign. You're making an effort, mashallah. So just stick with it. Go to your sheikh. You will get over it, inshallah. Whatever trouble that's afflicting you, you will get over it. I promise you. And knowing you also, your relationship with your sheikh, inshallah, I have 100% confidence, inshallah, that you will surmount that problem. And ultimately, Allah, He looks at your efforts, man. He looks at your worst case scenario. Inshallah, I can go, like, all the tries I make, I can go in front of Allah and be like, Allah, I tried. You are the most forgiving, most merciful. I tried, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just pass me on this. May Allah pass us on this. Your job is to keep trying. I'm sorry with 3 minutes over time, So I want to respect everyone's time also. So I'll just quickly closing questions. In the future, can you please see on my Sheikh ke hal ehwal like Sheikh Sahab has done for the Sheikh? Inshallah. Inshallah. And question from Dr. Bhai. I'll start with Ahmed Bhai because he's right at the top. Saad Bhai, how can one gauge if Allah Pak is happy with how they're spending their Ramzan? That's a good question, Ahmed Bhai, and you have me stumped. Let me think on this. Let me think on this. Question also that I think on. So let me get back to you on this. It's a simple but very profound question. Maybe I'll ask Sheikh Salah, my own Sheikh, for an answer on this. I'm sorry I'm not answering your question, but I think this deserves some thinking over to benefit everyone. And there's one more question. I believe there was one moment after. It's like hurting him, breaking his heart. I don't know what you mean by that. Breaking his heart. Our in my experience, okay, I know an instance of a former Salik who left his shape and in very other circumstances. And to this day, I know that that shape still feels regret, not for the Sheikh himself, but for the former Salik, for what that former Salik put himself through by doing the Bayadabi and leaving the Sheikh. I don't know if this breaks the Sheikh's heart, but this most extreme example, I think if it gets over there, then may Allah guide the Salik, the former Salik back to the rightful path, appropriate path. But I don't think that's what you're asking. Inshallah, whatever it is that you are telling him, don't worry. As I was saying in Bhai also, I think it reflects partially what you're saying. Your Sheikh loves you more than his own bloodline. So, and he wants to see you progress. And the fact that you're coming back still, and he may navigate it by scolding you, telling you through love, through entreaties. But don't worry, inshallah, you're not breaking his heart as long as you maintain the confines of adab. Remember, please, in today's day and age also, adab is becoming scarce commodity. So maintain adab, maintain etiquette, keep a love for your shaykh, update him regularly, get his sobat, and for the female salikin, follow his online bayans. And inshallah, rather than worry about breaking his heart, I would say focus on doing your mamulat and updating him and on these aspects. And inshallah, you will surmount whatever issue it is that you're facing. I hope that answers your question, Dr. Bhai. Ali Bhai is asking, at times we feel that the Sheikh has so many students, does he really even remember we're there? Yes, he does remember. Yes. Sheikh Saab gives the example, and I think if he's giving the example, you can be sure that he's feeling that also about his Sheikh. My Dada Sheikh Shamsur Rahman Abbasi, Damatum Katum Ali, how he would, after Fajr, after the prayer would be finished, he would just take a seat back and just scan the congregation. And the next day, if somebody, and if that day somebody was missing, the next day he would ask him that, I missed you in the prayer. Is everything okay? So you can be assured that our Sheikh got his tarbiyat, my Sheikh, Sheikh Humayuni Tamil Katum Ali, got his tarbiyat from my Dada Pir, his Sheikh, Sheikh Shamsul Aman Abasi Tamil Katum Ali. You can be assured that he remembers you, and he remembers you. He remembers you. Even if you're not going, if you're bad with him, you are his responsibility, for which the Sheikh will be asked. It's his duty. He will be asked by Allah. So you can be assured. I would say let's not worry about him remembering you. It should be more if you remember him. If you are following up with him, getting a sohbat, updating him, I think that's much more critical. If that follows up, this is in relation to my question by making him angry. Oh, again, I don't know the circumstances in which you're facing this. Uh, but it sounds like you're still connected with your sheikh. Um, and mashallah, you're concerned. So, fine. It seems you made him angry. Now the question is to move on and to ideally implement the advice that was given in the duration or after that anger. And I think inshallah it'll wash away whatever concerns that you may have. Just don't worry, the sheikh loves you. Um, a mother or a father may scold their child for a very grievous act also. But do we ever doubt our parents' love for us in spite of everything? And then this is a sheikh. This is a sheikh level love for the child. So again, I don't know what circumstance it happened, but inshallah, just want to assure you that just uh, rather than worrying about what happened, look towards the future and implement what lesson that was being imparted from that anger and implement it, and inshallah, things will improve. How do you balance giving time to your work versus family versus friends versus your shared community with all the challenges of today? One guy is asking this. Sometimes I'm desperate to spend more time with my shaykh. However, due to other responsibilities, I'm not able to. Yeah, the thought that came to my heart was the very rich person's sadaqat and zakat, and the poor person, right? So super rich person, $1,000,000, and the poor person, $10,000. And the super poor person gives, we're using analogy of time, is time spent with the sheikh. Um, that super wealthy person with time gives in quantity a much larger time, but that time poor person in that small structure that he has gives a larger proportion of time to the sheikh. The sheikh knows what you're going through, man. And the fact that's worrying you, and I know the people asking these questions also, how much time they give to our sheikh, and I also know how busy they are, what levels of positions they're at, what great worldly responsibilities they have. Um, your sheikh is looking at all of that. And don't worry, inshallah. The the taraqqiyat that you're getting from the work, the time that you're spending at your work, with your family, your friends, trying to balance it, juggle it. Um, I promise you, inshallah, you're progressing and your sheikh sees it, and he will guide you accordingly. I can tell you for my example, there was a time when I had to give a lot of time to my family, and Sheikh Saab even excused me from the monthly majalis. He said, okay, just spend more time with your family, which was really guilt-inducing for me because not spending time with my sheikh is torture. So it's torturous. But that was my sheikh's instruction also, and I would say, alhamdulillah, it had a profound effect. So, Imam, I would say, don't worry. I know, knowing you also, inshallah, you make a lot of effort. And rather than person in your situation, I would say for the Salik who has much more time to spare and is not making use of that by spending time with more time with their sheikh, I would suggest such a Salik to take note of this. And alhamdulillah, this is a worry. Let the worry stay and try to spend as much time in your shape as possible while consoling yourself with the fact that you're juggling many balls. And Allah's looking at that also in your shape history. I hope that answers your question, Imran Bhai. I think that covers all the questions, I believe. I hope I don't miss anyone. I want to ensure that everyone who spent their time is answered to. And we're over time also. So, brothers, sisters, on that note, thank you so much for taking the time out. And inshallah, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.